How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's Tiffany, Satchel. Yay! I'm so happy that y'all jumped on. I know I'm late, but I'm just gonna tell you, I've been up all night. I'm crypto crazed, and y'all know the market is down, right? So I was up all night just thinking about what I'm going to do. Like, what's my next move gonna be? So I went out today. I went straight to the BTC. I was supposed to go get my eyebrows done and my feet done because this week is a very, very, very it's going to be an extremely active week for the MCG community. All right, so we have our health and wellness event in Owens Mills tomorrow. If anyone's interested in joining in on that, then please connect with me. They also have another meeting for the health and wellness on Thursday as well, with Wakai Perfection. And then on Thursday, we have our crypto and spirituality integration meetup with Valerie Love at the MCG headquarters. And then on Saturday is our fashion show, the Beautiful You fashion show and book signing event in Washington, D.C. All right, so I already got my room booked with my girls. Everybody is like, I'm getting in the inbox, so I'm getting messages about how they gonna get there and what we wearing and stuff like that. And I got my outfit. Hopefully, my outfit better be here tomorrow because I had to order it, and I'm like, I had got it. I got it express, so it better be here tomorrow. So I'm on a tuna fish diet this week, y'all, because I don't want my stomach all sticking out. I could sing, Alan. Thank you. Hey, Casey. It's gonna be a busy week. It's going to be an extremely busy week, for the MCG community. So we're going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Apollo Rework Center. All right, so if you live in the area, come down to the event because she got breakfast and she got lunch. You ain't even gonna have to leave. You're not even gonna have to leave the building. Like, it's gonna be all day. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right. And also, Wakai Perfection. If you want to go to Wakai Perfection is having a huge event. That I wish I could be there, but my friend Gracie is gonna be there. So if you're interested in going, let me know. I'll hook you up with her. So you can, when you get there, she take care of you. All right. My girl Gracie, losing it with Gracie. I love her. All right. And she always has my back. Hey Joseph, what's up? So and I see you, Chi. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is the law of love. Okay, last week we spoke about well, first I talked about the law of gravity, right, and how that is an undeniable universal law, right? We cannot deny that, right? That cannot be denied that is a universal law. All right. So once you start to accept that, if you can accept that as a universal law, then you'll be able to understand the other laws. They'll be more palatable, right? It won't seem like so impossible or unreal, because how real is the law of gravity, right? The law of gravity, I don't think anyone can argue with that law. If someone argues with me about the law of gravity, then they just want to fight with me. That's all. That's what I just feel like you just want to fight with me. I see you. I see. All right. So I see Johnny, Valerie. That's my mommy. Hey, mommy. I see Lloyd. I see Kevin English. How you doing, Kevin? All right. So we're going to talk about the law of love. All right. Wait, let me see. Did I say everything I wanted to say? Let me make sure I said everything I wanted to say. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, Wakai, and Kevin English on too. So Wakai Perfection, he's going to be at the meeting tomorrow in Owens Mills. He's on right now for Wakai Perfection. They also have a meeting on Thursday, and then they have this huge event I wish I could go to on Saturday. All right, so in the description, there is a link. You can go there. That's my blog. Okay, it's on Steemit. You could go there and you can see everything that we're doing this week. So I'm going to make sure that I have everything that the MCG community is going to be doing for the week. You will get a link. I'll make sure I post it in my vid every Tuesday. Okay. So now let's get right back to it. Right. So we're talking about the law of gravity, and then last week we talked about the law of truth, right? And exactly what I really felt that the law of truth is. Okay. And like I said, when I think about a truth, okay, there's a difference between a truth and a belief, right? So when I think about a truth, it cannot be breakable. It cannot be changeable. It must be exact. It must be precise. Okay. Love you, Johnny. Love you, Joseph. All right. It must be exact. All right. Like the law of gravity. And then we also talk about the law of earth, right? So now we're going to go into the law of love. okay? And because the law of love is one of the 7 laws of the solar system, all right? So you have will and power, which represents the aspect of the Father, all right? And then you have love and wisdom, which represents the aspect of the Son, or the Christ consciousness, all right? Jesus Christ, all right? And then you have intuition and intelligence, and that represents the Holy Spirit, or what I'm going to say it, the mother aspect, okay? Something that's never acknowledged, okay? The mother aspect, okay? In the Christian world, and that's what I'm speaking from a Christian perspective. I'm a Christian. I practice Christianity. I'm a mystic Christian, though, all right? And then you have spiritual will, okay, and that represents the universal consciousness, okay, your collectiveness, all right, and that's also who you're connected to, other the sentient beings that you're connected to, all right, your higher and wiser self, okay. Now our aim, or our task, all right, in life is to transmute the nature of our desire, okay, because we are totally responsible for everything that's showing up in our life, and I mean everything that's showing up in our life. Thank you, Joseph. Let's sow some hearts and I love you, Alan. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so we are responsible for everything that's showing up in our life, right? And now I know that could be a little depressing for some, but if you start to think about it, once you start to learn the laws of the universe, then you can, it'll actually be empowering, all right? And I say it all the time. Once you start to realize that you really don't have to be in that hustle and bustle and dog eat world mentality, like you really can start to really adapt the perception that this is a friendly universe, okay? It's not always going to be easy, because a lot of times when you are in that state of mind, you're going to be around people that's going to be wanting to smack you back into reality, you know what I mean? And then, because like they don't, especially if it's not like that for them, which is some of the things that I was experiencing over the last year, like within like the last year, here I am over in my little vortex having all fun. And, I'm thinking that, I'm surrounded by some people that's, it wasn't like that. And I got extreme, I get angry. That's what I'm learning. I'm working on that. I get very angry sometimes, when people are like that, but I don't care. That's not what this video is about. This is a new year. I'm good. All those people that didn't like me are off my timeline, and they made room for the people that actually do want to connect with me. So I'm happy. All right. So now I know the issue, the main reason why is because we now, all right, so there is a creator of creation, right? That is, he got the whole world in his hands, right? She has the whole world in his hands. It has the whole world in his hand. However, we are really controlling our reality, all right? We really are. We as humans, we have so much power, and it's infinite, because we are made in the image of the creator of creation, all right? And like I said, I'm going to use some scriptures. I'm only going to do 2 scriptures today, but I'm going to show some things in Kabbalah as well, all right? So I thought this video was going to be short, but it might not. Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. So, all right. If anybody's watching right now, you know who I am. I'm Tiffany Satchel. I'm branded the 1111 coach. All right. And I'm a whole life spiritual coach and a social media online business building coach. Okay. And I help my clients. Okay. I help them to integrate money, spirituality, and health. Okay. I help with the integration. And my main goal is to find out what is freaking cool about you. All right, what is so freaking cool about you, and how you can use that to support you, and to create how you can use that to support the lifestyle of your dreams. Okay, and everyone has a niche, that they are just badass in. All right, and MCG will help you figure it out. All right, so now when we talk about the law of love, first we must begin with loving ourselves, right? If you don't love yourself, I don't care. You cannot love anyone else. It's going to be a superficial love. Okay. And I'm going to show you that in Kabbalah. All right, there's some levels to it. Okay, so we start off with loving ourselves. All right, and then we go to our bloodlines, and then we go to our friends, and then everything else respectively. All right, until it arrives at a stage of collective consciousness. All right, so our love is magic. Love is freaking magical, man. Our love, it's real, it's true, and it's pure. All right, you cannot deny it. All right, it is freaking divine. All right, when you get around someone that is in a state of love, you are attracted to them. I don't care how they look. They might not even be all that beautiful, but when you feel the energy of love around someone, you're just attracted to them. You know what I mean? Because it's a feeding, like it feeds you, right? And that's the state that Christ had. That's why when people came around him, it was almost like he was like, come to me. His energy, he had this energy like, come to me, come to me, come to me. All right. That's the type of, and that's how love is, right? It's like it wants to pull you in. Yes, I do love myself most of the time. I love you too, Joe. Hey, Tania. All right, there go another MCG. MCG. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, all right. Now, when we're in a state of love, is much easier to. Now, I also talked about the Ascended Master last week, right? Because when we're in a state of love, it's much easier to acknowledge and connect to the Ascended Masters. All right. They're present. Okay. And when we don't acknowledge the Ascended Masters, they cannot acknowledge us. And most of the time when we're not in alignment with love, then we don't acknowledge something like, so simple as our cat coming over and rubbing up against our leg. You know what I mean? Something like that, and reaching down. Because I catch myself sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. That's not, I'm not acknowledging the love that's trying to come to me. And then I've been catching myself, and then I have to grab her, and I'm like, oh, that's love trying to come to you, So when you don't acknowledge the Ascended Masters, when you don't acknowledge your angels, all right, they can't really acknowledge you. Now, and that's a law, but that does not mean that they won't help you. Okay, that doesn't mean that they won't help you, because there's not only Ascended Masters here. There's different types of beings here. All right, and we're going to talk about that at another time as well. All right, but you do have heavenly beings that govern over you. All right, when we're in a state of divine love, you're able to accept all that is, and there's no resistance, and we're able to see the truth more clearly. MCG. All right, we're able to see the truth more clearly. All right, and the truth. Hey, Layla. Oh, okay. Okay, Perfection joining on today. Yes. All right. All right. The truth is that we and everyone else and everything that has ever had breath is eternal. Okay, we're eternal. Now, I have had conversations within like the last 2 or 3 weeks with people. I'm talking about like my Lyft driver, people on Facebook, and Steam It, okay, and in my email, was saying, Tiffany, how do I not come back to this realm anymore? And believe me, I'm trying to figure it out as well. Okay, I don't want to come here no more. I was like, I would much rather be an angel in heaven. You know what I mean? Singing to God all day than to, be here and going through this, because, it's not an easy life here. Okay. It's just really not, it's a lot of work, and, you have to put a lot of work into it. And the ones that you see their lives are so good. Believe me, they on their knees every night like this. Like, God, help me. I'm telling you, they on most of them. All right. They on their knees all night. Okay. And all right. So, now also, right, when you're in a state of love, all right, your healing powers are activated, and actually they're actually heightened, all right, because we all have healing powers, right? We're all like superheroes, right? We're all like I like to think X-Men. Okay, so y'all can call me Mystique. That's what I like to think of myself as, like an X-Man. I've been saying that for years, and I always love Mystique, and that is the perception that I want to come fully into, all right, of Mystique. So if you don't know who Mystique is, you can go and Google or pre-search, okay? If you don't know what pre-search is, then ask me what pre-search is in the comments, and I'll let you know what pre-search is. Google or pre-search X-Men Mystique, MYSTIQUE, okay? Google that, and that's me, all right? That's totally me, all right? So, our healing powers, when we all have healing powers, right? Because we're all like Supermen, all right? And so we can heal ourselves, we can heal others, all right? Love really is the highest vibration. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Earth is a masterclass, and your own voice is the most potent healing vibration for yourself. Yes, it is, which is one of the reasons, and we're going to talk about that, like chanting and stuff like that. That's another practice that the Christians have, right? That most people don't even understand unless they actually have the gifts, the infilling of the Holy Spirit. I know some Christians that they believe in tongues, but they never experienced it. That was like a normal practice in my home. And once I started learning about other faith-based systems, that's when I started noticing that they were chanting, and I'm basically doing the same thing, but we don't have like a set. Everyone, when you're practicing Christianity, it is like my own heavenly language that only a prophet can interpret. I don't even know what I'm saying. All right. And that's also one of the gifts of the Spirit that I have never been able to experience. I've experienced all the gifts of the Spirit, and we will talk about that on another live because I don't want to throw too much up in here. Yeah, that's all right, Tania. Yeah, I'm gonna make that my status. All right. Yeah. So I don't want to start getting too much into Christianity because it's actually supposed to be about universal laws, and I wanted to make this broad for everyone, but that's the only perspective I have. So all right. So, what was I saying? Ooh, these lights are really, really hot. Okay. All right. So, I said, love really is, the highest vibration in this realm. Okay. Next to illumination. All right. So when we are able to move past the primitive way of looking at and using love, meaning physically, all right, and become aware of real divine love, we place ourselves in a position to create and generate, anything that we want at will, like at will. Okay, we create and we generate at will. All right. Our wisdom is illuminated, and our wisdom is limitless. Okay, when we are in a state of divine love. All right, you don't even really need another person or body to generate those feelings of love, that we feel during sex. Okay, it's just that most people, it's just more fun to have another body there, right? But you don't really need another body, all right? And believe me, I proved it. You really don't, okay? Because when you're sending out love into the world and everything, all right, you can actually produce those chemicals needed to get on that super high that you feel that you have during that most experience during good sex, okay? And actually practicing this way of loving yourself and everyone else will give you an orgasm on a continuous basis. All right, which is why most of the you see like those Maggies and those super gurus, why they don't have sex, because they have an orgasm like every freaking day, right? The men too, men and women. All right, so all right, so, and we are going to talk about the law of sex next week. All right, but we are required to live a life of love. All right, as stated in 1 Corinthians. Yes, I'm pulling out the Bible, y'all. It's in 1 Corinthians, okay, chapter 13, the praises of charity. All right, our aim should always be to love ourselves as best as we can. Ooh, look at my page. I'm tearing this. I don't want to open up this Bible. It's so old. All right, as best we can. All right, so first we're going to talk about being created in the image of God. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. All right, and God said, let us, all right, and I know I said this before, but this is like a confirmation that you are an image of God. And like if we can start to accept that, like you were made in the image of the creator of creation. You were made in that image. All right, you're not the creator, you're not God, but you are a God, little God. Okay. And let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. All right, so we have that. All right, and you know what? Hold up. There's also a scripture in here that says, where God is speaking, and he says, I told you that you are God. And I forgot what that was. I didn't even think about pulling that scripture out, but let me just because I want to show evidence. I really do want to help Christians to understand the ones that actually want. I'm not trying to convert anyone, but I'm talking about the ones that actually want to know. Like what's missing. You know what I mean? That really want to get those dots connected. All right. All right. So. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's John chapter 10, verse 34. All right, so I'm going to read that to you. All right, and then we're going to read the praises of charity. Okay, just in case someone never heard that. All right, I want to just read it. Okay, because I know it might be some people that have never heard 1 Corinthians chapter 13. So I just want to share that and because it might heal somebody. That is a very, very, very powerful scripture in the Bible. And that's why that page in my book, if you look, that page is like falling out. This is something that I used to study all the time. Okay. All right. So now we're on chapter 10, 34. Okay, 34. Jesus answered them. All right. So now this is Jesus' answer. Now there is also in the Old Testament. I just Googled it, and that's Psalm 82:6. All right. But since I know everybody, I had some people putting some comments up, talking about Jesus this and Jesus that, and I'm about to tell you what Jesus said. All right, because I think that a lot of people they go to church, and I'm going to church next week with my old pastor, but just in case people like I don't go to church, I don't. I stopped going, but I'm gonna go to the church that I was actually baptized in, and I was baptized into a church where that's the Church of Christ, okay, where the women gotta sit in the back and stuff like that, and my whole perception changed. Okay, so. I think a lot of some Christians, they aren't reading for themselves. They're going to church. They're just listening to the minister, listening to the minister, and listening to the minister. Some of them aren't reading for themselves. Now, some of them are reading, and they just, this is not the path that they're on. They're not on a mystic path. I am, and some of you are, and I want to help you. Okay, so those are the ones I'm talking to. So please stop putting those comments on my posts. I'm serious, and I don't care. I'm like, please stop. Like. Stay off my page. If you don't like me, stay off my page. I don't care. All right. So here we go. And Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law? I said ye are gods." Now this is Jesus talking. All right. This is the New Testament. Okay. This is chapter 10, St. John chapter 10, verse 34. Okay. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. All right, and this is going back from Psalms 82:6, where God was talking. He said, "I told you, ye are gods." Okay, all right. So so now you can look that up for yourself, right? So I gave you that's 2 scriptures right there, and then I have another one. All right, so now let's read the law of love. All right, so that we can understand exactly what the law of love is. All right. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and not have charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tingling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I'm nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profited me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemly. That should be unfavorable. Like I was writing down, like got a note in here. It says unfavorably, but unseemly. Seek it not her own, is not easily provoked. Think it no evil. Rejoice it not in iniquity, but rejoice it in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Don't that just feel good? Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. But we know in part. So when we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a woman, I put away childish things. Now I still like to have fun, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm on my spiritual stuff. Okay? But now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, now I know in part. But then shall I know, even as I also am known. And now abideth faith, love, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. Okay. All right. All right. So now let's do a little bit of Kabbalah. All right. And now, so it's there's two different types of love. Okay. So you have unconditional love, and then you have that love with an agenda. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about that really fast. All right. So now here is unconditional love. Okay. When you want to anchor in unconditional love, this is the symbol. What am I doing here? Okay. Here we go. That's the symbol. Okay. And I will post it on my timeline. Okay. I'll post it. And just looking at that symbol will help you to activate unconditional love. All right. And just so that you know, once you start doing this work, all kinds of mess going to start coming out your mouth. Things going to start happening. You know what I mean? That you just you want, you know, it's going to show you the parts of yourself that you need to change. Like what I'm like, some of the things that you see me going through, like you see things happening with me. You know, sometimes I wake up and I look and I'm like, damn, I put that up on Facebook. And you know, sometimes my girls like they'll be like, Tim, when you put that on Facebook, I'll be like, damn, I put that up there. I don't even remember doing that. Like, but hey, you know, hey, it's a reason why, to show myself, and I'm not ashamed about nothing because I ain't hiding nothing. I ain't got nothing to hide, so I ain't ashamed. I don't feel bad, So, all right, so now let's talk about unconditional love. All right, I'm going to read it directly from the text. Okay, I should put the book link in here because I like for people to go and look at the stuff. But okay, a student once approached a sagi, okay, who was well versed in spiritual doctrines and mystical arts. He asked the master to teach him all the sublime secrets of life, to explain all the magnificent mysteries of the cosmos that are hidden in all the holy books. And he asked if all this could be done in the time that a person can remain balanced on one leg. The great Sagi carefully considered this request. He smiled warmly and replied, "Love thy neighbor as thyself. All the rest is commentary. Now go and learn." Okay, because like one thing, people, I don't care. All right, I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to say I did this for people, I did that. No, but one thing, no one could ever say that they came to me that like we were like working together, like we were supposed to be like working together, and I did not want to help them. I help anyone that's an MCG can come to me and ask me for help. I don't care what it is. I got your back. That's just how that's how I was raised. That's how my father was. My father used to stop his car, anything, be in the grocery store, take money out of his pocket, pay for people food. I mean, anything, so that's how I was raised. That's how I roll. Just because someone knows how to act in public does not mean that they walk in love. I walk in love. All right. You cannot go wrong with me. All right. I don't let people manipulate me though. Okay. Now, loving our neighbors or our enemies, for that matter, has nothing at all to do with morals or ethics. Rather, Kabbalah teaches that love is a formidable weapon in furthering our own cause in life, which is simply to gain true joy and fulfillment. In other words, we benefit. All right. When we act in this way, when we love our neighbor as we love ourselves, we benefit. We benefit. Okay. Love is a weapon of light, and it has power to eradicate all forms of darkness. That is the key. When we offer love even to our enemies, we destroy their darkness and hatred, which is the reason they became our enemies in the first place. Okay. So that's a lot of responsibility with knowing that, right? Okay. All right, because we attracted the situation, but but everybody has their part to play. Okay, so we might have attracted it, but that don't mean that you had to stand there and play the character. You know what I mean? Everybody, you get to choose what position that you're gonna play too. All right. So what's more, we cast out the darkness inside ourselves. What's left of two souls who now recognize the spark of divinity they both share. Okay, so that's what's left. All right, so now when you're looking at this name that I showed you, all right, and this is God name number 12. Okay, this is God name number 12. Okay, there's 72 names of God. This is number 12. Okay, it awakens the love of our spouse, our friends, family, and self. And after all, we can share only what we possess. Thus, we cannot love our neighbor or our spouse if we don't possess a love for our own self. All right, so you have to love yourself first before you can love anyone. All right, so you can use this symbol to dissolve animosity and bitterness that might arise after an argument with a loved one. All right, so that's what you can use that for. All right, and the meditation or affirmation that they have that's attached with it is like attracts like. Okay, so by emulating the Creator's unconditional love for all humankind, you bring love into your own life. Okay, you create harmony between yourself and other people, and between humanity and the natural world. Okay. All right, so now let's talk about no agenda, all right? Because some people go, oh, I do this and nobody ever does this for me. And I do that and nobody else, and, you know, no one's doing this for me. And I don't experience this with people, you know, but I'm always doing this. And that's because it's not coming from a genuine place, okay? When we give just to get back, we don't get back what we really feel like we deserve. It's never going to be equal, because it really wasn't a fair exchange that you were giving. All right, it really wasn't. Okay, so do you ever feel let down by people whom you befriended? Are you frequently disappointed by circumstances in which you gave so much of yourself? If the answer is no to both of these questions, then this right here is not going to help you. All right, if you don't experience that. All right, but if you have, then it's going to help you. And here's the symbol, and this is God name number 53. All right, this is no agenda. Okay, so now when you're doing this, hey, Devan, I see you. I just looked at the thing. Hey. All right, so this is love with no agenda. All right, and so like when we're moving in that state, then we do get back exactly what we need out. All right, you won't be walking around feeling like that. So if you're feeling like that, you need to check yourself, okay? Because that means that you're not loving from your heart. Just not. I don't care what you're doing. You can be giving people millions of dollars, but it's not from the heart. You're only doing it just to get something back, and people never gonna be able to do that. They're never gonna be able to meet that. They can only, it has to be. Me and Tania was actually talking about this 2 days ago. All right, it has to be in a harmonic way. All right, the exchange must be fair, but it has to be harmonic. All right, it might not be balanced. You can't balance it out, so you should just give from your heart. Don't do shit that you don't want to do, and you're gonna be all right. If I want to do something, I'd be like, nah, I'm not doing it. Because I already know how I feel about it. You know, if I'm not doing it, you know, so just don't do it. You know, if you feel like, you know, like, oh, you know, they're not giving it back to me, don't do it then. Just don't do it. Then you don't have to worry about it. All right. So now if you answered yes to the preceding questions, chances are your positive actions were contingent upon you receiving some form of benefit down the road, which is what most people do. There's a book out there. I'll probably have it in my case too. There's a book called what is the name of that book? Friends. Mutual friends. It's like mutual friends, it's like mutual friends or something like that. I never even read it. Someone gave it to me when I was waitressing, but I keep saying I'm going to read it because it was actually on like the New York bestsellers list, and I just don't feel the pull towards it right now. So so I just haven't read it, but I went through it and it looks like it's pretty good. All right. So we frequently befriend others or perform favors with hidden agendas. Okay, and hidden agendas will get you jammed up. If you got a hidden agenda, that's gonna get you messed up. It will. It'll get you messed up because it will deplete your energy. If you have a hidden agenda, you're doing things to people. You just wind up putting yourself in a state of victimness, right? Like, you know, like, oh, woe is me. You know, everybody's always, you know, mean to me, and everybody's always this, you know, and you don't want to do that, right? I don't do too much that I don't want to do. All right. So the friendship we offer is usually unconditional, without us even realizing it. All right. We want something in return. All right. It might be a social standing. All right, a loan or a favor that we would like to call in on at a certain point in the future. All right. So that's a hidden agenda. So when you're moving in that way, right, you got to check your energy. If you're moving in that way, like, oh, later on down the road, no, I always know this is why I could give and not care, and why I could do stuff, you know, because I know who really pays me. I know where I'm getting it from. I already know that God is going to take care of me. I already know that if this person doesn't give it to me, or this person doesn't help me, God's going to bring somebody that's going to help me. I ain't worried about it. And that's how you have to be, you know, and then you'll be able to give freely. You have to trust that you are being completely and fully supported by the universe, by the creator of creation, who loves you so much. All right. Pure love, right? It's pure unconditional love. Okay. Our actions of sharing usually have strings attached as well. All right. For instance, a patron's name is inscribed onto a plaque and then is hung up in the lobby. A dinner is given in the benefactor's honor. A hospital wing is named after the charitable contributor. Okay. In Kabbalah, that is not considered unconditional sharing. Okay, it's not. True sharing is nameless, so that the giver and the receiver have no idea who each other are. All right. The giver gives, period. Givers derive their pleasure from the unconditional, anonymous act of pure sharing, expecting nothing in return. And that is when they receive everything they want. Everything they want. That's why you see some people, they can receive everything they want because they're constantly giving, but they're giving from a place. Now, what Coach Valley says is that you want to give from a place of abundance, right? Like it's never going to end, right? So like you have like this pit that you're attached to, this vortex of energy that is just constantly feeding you, right? Because you're a channel, right? And you're connected to it, and it's constantly feeding you, and then you're able to transfer that out, you know, to the other sentient beings that you're connected to. Okay. All right. So when we give unconditional love and perform genuine actions of sharing, joy comes from our giving. All right. It'll actually energize you. All right. It'll actually revamp you. Okay. And not from what we want in return. Okay. So here's the affirmation and meditation that goes along with that. All right. And I'll show you the pick again of the symbol. All right, and I'm going to post it on my timeline. Okay, self-interest, ulterior motives, and hidden agendas give way to pure acts of friendship, unconditional love, and giving. In return, true and loving friends, joy and fulfillment are attracted into your life. Okay. All right. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for joining in. I love you with that agape kind of love. Please go check out the link that I have in the description. Okay. That is what the MCG community is doing this week. All right. This is a big week for us. Come out and support us. Come to our free event. All right. We have 2 free events that's going on in MCG on Saturday. All right. They're both in the DMV. We have a fashion show and book signing. I'm going to be there, and then we also have the health and wellness event. All right. That's also going on, and that you can register. All you have to do is go to that link and you register for any one of those events. Okay. I'm going to be in the DMV on Thursday. I'm not going tomorrow because I'm going to be I'm gonna be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, because of the event. So I'm not gonna be there tomorrow. But my friend Gracie will be in Owens Mills tomorrow if you're interested in going. All right. And these events are free. Okay. All right. So I love you guys, and I'm gonna be on steaming all night. All right. Peace.